Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your favorite podcast, The Atelier, with your host, MJ. Guys, I have to confess to you two things before we start. The first one is, I'm sorry. Probably no one special different in my family is right now hearing this podcast during the day or the moment that I'm uploading it. But I know that someone someday will probably hear it. And that's why I'm apologizing. Because last week I did not upload anything. And I can't let that happen. I need to be constant. And I'm sorry to you, to everyone who's listening to this podcast, because this is everything to me and I can't let you down or let me down. So yes, I'm sorry for that. The second thing that I need to talk to you about is my parents are at home, so probably this will be quite fast. I'll keep recording tomorrow. I had already recorded this episode and I hate when that happens, but the thing is, for some reason the audio wasn't good enough and I had to redo it. So we're going to finish this podcast tomorrow, but I need to let you know that I love you and I appreciate everything you're doing for me by listening, clicking like, subscribing to this podcast, to this episode, to my channel. I love you and I really want to thank you. And well, now that leads me to the next thing, which is the topic that we're going to be talking about. I really hope you will enjoy it, because next week's episode is going to be fantastic as well. So here, without further ado, I present to you literature, which is today's episode. But as I told you, I'm going to be recording tomorrow, so say hi to tomorrow's MJ. So, hello guys, and say hi to a future MJ, I suppose. Well, as I was telling you, today we're going to be talking about literature, one of my favorites, but not favorites topics. Anyways, here's what we're going to be talking about. What is literature aesthetics? And literature aesthetics on IG, favorite literature aesthetics. If I could write, what would I write about? And what can you write about? Like the different genres that you can find and the ones that you can write if you like writing. I personally prefer writing than reading, but I think I should give it a try to reading. So let's go. So what is literature aesthetics according to the internet? It's not something, it's not what it is. It's not actually a thing, which is the first thing I must tell you. It's not actually like something that you say like, oh, it's this. No. So basically it's when the authors include forms of art or art genres or types to give a sense of aesthetics or aesthetic, to let people understand and get interested in a specific topic. But it's not, as I said, I don't know what happened with the microphone, but as I said, it's not a specific aesthetic, it's just something used to teach. So now I'm going to read you a quote that I found linked down below. And it says, it's from study.com, and it says, aesthetics in literature is the inclusion of references to artistic elements or expressions within a textual work. Its method used to promote or educate readers about important artistic expressions in society. Sorry for that. So, as I said, basically is used to teach people about a specific aesthetic or genre of art or type of art. So here comes the next topic. And and it's literature, aesthetics, and IG. As you know, probably I'm not the only one who has seen this. A lot of people put like music as a background, and then they put a lot of images representing the aesthetic of a book. But I'm going to try to show you two I don't know, examples of what I've seen, because this one is one. This one I personally like it a lot because it has like a really beautiful music, or that matches the aesthetic. So basically you put the book, or you put the title or the images, and you put the music, and I think it's beautiful and it makes me want to read. So what I found out is that there are different types of genres, or I don't know, of aesthetics, and one of them is dark academia, light academia, teenage, antique, summer, cottagecore, again teenage. So yeah, I feel like that's what I found out. Personally, I like a lot light and dark academia. It seems to be pretty amazing, but these are just genres. It's not aesthetics, it's more like genres, but you show these videos as aesthetics to show people what it's going to be about the book. It's not much about, oh, this is the aesthetic. No, it's more like, this is what the book is going to be about. And yeah, it's lovely. I would love to do one of those with one of my favorite books, with which I think I mentioned it, or I have, and it's oh my god, I forgot the name, and it's my favorite. Can you believe that? Has this happened to you? Because it happens to me pretty continuously, like often. Yeah, I actually don't have a favorite, but the book is El Método 1533, and I love it, from Shannon Kirk. Recommended, 10 out of 10. Yeah. So yeah, I think I don't have a preference. I love all of them. But if I have to choose between the ones that I showed you before, from what I have seen, I like a lot dark and light academia. I feel like that's pretty. So, if I was going to write about something, I would probably write about something that has to do with criminology. Like, that's something I adore. Like, I live for that type of content. I mean, have you seen Hawaii Five-0? Oh my gosh, favorite TV show, criminalistic TV show. I'm not sure if you say it like that, but I love it. Like, the principal characters are amazing, and the secondary as well. Like, I love the story behind everything. I love how the group was formed. I live for it. I literally live for that TV show. So I would basically write something like that, but from the perspective of the criminal. It would look kind of like the movie Cherry. But yeah, if you haven't seen Cherry, I actually recommend it quite a lot. It's amazing, and I adore it. And now we're going for the part of the masterclass thing. So there is a webpage for those masterclasses where you can learn literally everything from people who do this type of things, who are very knowledgeable in this type of areas. And I found one thing happened again. Something is going on with the microphone. I'm talking and then it stops. I hate when that happens. At this point, I normally record with the video going on so that I can know what is coming on next. But since the microphone is not working, or maybe it is the program where I'm doing the thing, recording, well, we're just going to keep on going, and then we'll see how we match everything. So I'm literally so pissed right now. As I was saying, I found out this webpage from the master classes, and there is one that is about writing, like literature, which we love. It was created on November 8, 2020. I don't know if the words are the best year of my life, but the title is "What are the different genres of literature? A guide to 13 literary genres." So I'm just going to mention the ones that there are, and if you want, you can check them out. I will leave the link down below, and yeah, I'm going to say which ones I love, because probably while I'll be passing by them, I'll be like, oh my gosh, we love, I adore, I was something like that, and that's probably the word that I will be using. So the first one literary genre that there is literary fiction. Then it goes mystery, which, as I've been saying, I live for this type of content. There is also thriller, horror. I have never read a horror book because I kind of am scared of them. I don't know if it happens to you or if it's just me being a weird person. Whenever I see, watch, or hear something that scares me, I'm going to be like panicking the whole time. And if it's, for example, a movie, then I'll watch 2 other movies, but like literally Disney movies that are very lovely and we know what's going to happen, so that I can kind of calm down. Then there is historical. I have a friend who's recommending me a lot of these books, so I will start reading that. There is also romance, which I love and adore and live for this also type of content again, because it might sound cliche, but just knowing how a couple met and everything that is behind their story, and it's just like, sometimes, I don't know if it's just me, but maybe like when the guy is turning around and you're like, no, run towards her, do this, do that, and well, no one can hear you actually, but it's just like, I don't know, I feel like that's amazing. There is also one, the 8th one. I do not know how to say this word, but it's Bildungsroman. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, if it's Bildungsroman or something like that, I don't know. But it says it's a genre of stories about a character growing psychologically and morally from their youth into adulthood. Sounds pretty interesting if you ask me. Oh my god. Sorry for the noise. That's my alarm. I have quite too many classes and I have to keep track of them. So then there is speculative fiction, science fiction, fantasy, which in series at least I think that's pretty cool. Fantasy in movies or series, it's like, oh my gosh. There is also dystopian magical realism, and lastly there is realist literature. So yeah, those are basically like all of them that it says in this webpage. Again, link down below. I really hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I feel like that was a pretty, how can I say this? Pretty interesting, weird, kind of not, I hope not too extensive, but I feel like it is, episode. But I talked about something that I'm not too knowledgeable in, and probably for the trying art, I'm going to be bringing one of my friends, which is the one that I know that reads the most. She's absolutely amazing, absolutely knowledgeable, intelligent, and yeah, I just feel like she's just such a mood and she's amazing. Well, I feel like this is it for this episode, and I really, really hope you enjoyed it. Next week's episode is about traveling, and hopefully you can get inspired to travel or to do something with traveling, paintings or pictures or something like that. Let me know down in the comments if you get inspired by just literally watching people travel around the world. And now this is goodbye. I really hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye.